What about your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Orlando, Florida for Friday, June 29, 2018, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Jared Leto has signed on to star as Spider-Man's antihero Morbius in an upcoming standalone spin-off film based around the vampire character. Filmmaker Daniel Espinosa, who helmed Safe House and Life, is set to direct from a script by Burke Shapless and Matt Samaza. Ari Arad and Mac Tallmuck are producing with Lucas Foster. Morbius, known as the living vampire, was biochemist Dr. Michael Morbius, who transformed into a vampire after he injected himself with the serum derived from bats in order to cure a fatal blood disease. The character was created by writer Roy Thomas and artist Gil Kane within the pages of The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 101 in 1971. Morbius started out as a villain for Spider-Man before becoming more of an anti-hero. The film will be Sony's latest project under their Spider-Man umbrella, which also includes Venom star Tom Hardy, which arrives in theaters on October 5th. It remains to be seen if Sony and Marvel's Spider-Man Homecoming series starring Tom Holland as the iconic wall crawler, which is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, will interact with Venom or Morbius. Leto is already known as the Batman villain of Joker in Warner Bros.' DC Extended Universe series of films, where he appeared as the character in 2016's Suicide Squad. The actor is set to reprise the role in an upcoming standalone Joker film that he is also executive producing. Netflix has announced that the upcoming 5th season of their animated comedy series BoJack Horseman will arrive on the streaming service on September 14th. The official Twitter account for BoJack Horseman made an announcement on Wednesday while responding to a fan who had asked about when Season 5 would be released. BoJack Horseman said, "Wow, congratulations, you are the 1 millionth person to ask that question. Your prize is the answer September 14th. Now please stop asking me." BoJack Horseman follows the title character, a self-loathing alcoholic voiced by Will Arnett, as he navigates through life after starring in a 90s sitcom titled Horsing Around. He is joined by his human friend Todd, played by Aaron Paul, and his feline agent, Princess Carolyn, played by Amy Sedaris. Scarlett Johansson is slamming a news story that romantically links her to Tom Cruise. The 33-year-old actress denied reports Wednesday that she auditioned to date the 55-year-old actor and Church of Scientology member following his split from Nicole Kidman. Johansson said in a statement to The Hollywood Reporter, "The very idea of any person auditioning to be in a relationship is so demeaning." She added, "I refuse for anyone to spread the idea that I lack the integrity to choose my own relationships. Only a man, a.k.a. Brendan Thigh, would come up with a crazy story like that." Thigh, a former Scientologist, said on Wednesday's episode of The Megyn Kelly Today that he was serving as a member of Cruise's security unit when he came upon reports of women who auditioned to date the actor. He claimed Johansson was among the women. Thigh said of actress and Scientology member Erica Christensen, another actress, Erica Christensen, had to disconnect from Scarlett Johansson because it didn't go well. That was in the report. The Church of Scientology told Today Thigh served as a Scientology security guard and night watchman, but was dismissed because of dereliction of duty. The church says Thigh had limited access. The access he boasted of having was largely limited to viewing security cameras from a guard booth, Church Rep Karen Powell said. Cruise split from Kidman in February 2000 with 10 years of marriage. The actor married Katie Holmes in 2006, but split from the actress in June 2012. Kate Hudson cozied up with boyfriend Danny Fujikawa during their babymoon Thursday in Italy. The 9-year-old actress shared a sweet photo with the musician on Instagram from their visit to Tuscany. The picture shows Hudson and Fujikawa enjoying a moment amid the glorious scenery. Fujikawa put his hands over Hudson's as they cradled her baby bump. Hudson captioned the post, Tuscany, adding several emojis. Hudson and Fujikawa arrived in Italy this week after vacation with Hudson's mom, actress Goldie Hawn, her longtime partner Kurt Russell, and other family in Greece. Hudson shared a photo Sunday of her growing belly obscuring her swimsuit. She joked in the caption, "I think my bikini's pretty cute. Hashtag she's big. Hashtag her girl." Hudson announced in April that she's expecting a daughter with Fujikawa. She's already parents to two sons, 14-year-old Ryder with Chris Robinson and 6-year-old Bigham with Matt Bellamy. The star told People in May of carrying a daughter, "There's all kinds of differences. They say girls make you sicker, and that, for me, has been the truth. It's been interesting so far." Married at First Sight couple Ryan Buckley and Jaclyn Schwartzberg have reportedly called it quits. E! confirmed Wednesday that season 6 stars have separated after 10 months of marriage. Buckley and Schwartzberg split this month, according to People. So that says the pair remained friendly despite previous clashes over their different lifestyles. An insider says Jaclyn and Ryan have divorced as of this month. They remain friends and are grateful for everything they've learned while being married to a stranger. Married at First Sight features couples who have agreed to marry when they first meet. Buckley and Schwartzberg had voiced concerns about their relationship throughout season 6, which ended in April. Buckley said on the TLC series, according to Us Weekly, "I got married at first sight to find love and to find that person that I'm always going to be with, but the rest of my life is at risk." He also added, "When we start fighting, it gets kind of out of control, and it's just like now we are all of a sudden jumping to the end conclusion. We don't know if this is something we are going to want in our lives." Fellow season 6 stars Jessica Pierre and Shawnice Jackson remain married. Jonathan Frenetic and Molly Duff decide to divorce in the season finale. Game Critics Awards, which are decided by critics from 51 publications, have released their nominees for the best E3 2018. Games eligible for nomination must have been playable for publications and demos for at least 5 minutes during the E18 convention, which took place in Los Angeles earlier in June. Winners will be announced July 2nd. The honor of Best of Show is one online multiplayer shooter, Anthem, Marvel's PlayStation 4 exclusive Spider-Man title, Survivor Horror Remake Resident Evil 2, action-adventure title Sekiro, Shadow Dice, and Nintendo's crossover fighting game Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Nominees for Best Original Game, referring to the titles not connected to an established series, includes PlayStation 4 exclusives Day Gone and Dreams, the pirate-based Skull and Bones, Sekiro's Shadows Die Twice, and Anthem. Nominated for Best Console Games are Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Dreams, Spider-Man, Resident Evil 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Other categories include Best VR/AR Game, Best PC Game, Best Hardware Peripheral, Best Action Game, Best Action Adventure, Best RPG, Best Fighting Game, Best Racing Game, Best Sports Game, Best Strategy Game, Best Family Social Game, Best Online Multiplayer, Best Independent Game, and Best Ongoing Game. Special commendations for graphics, sounds, and innovation will also be announced on July 2nd. Spider-Man, set for release on September 7th, was a big part of Sony's 2018 E3 press conference as the game's developer, Insomniac, released a new trailer for the title that featured the iconic wall crawler, taking on a number of villains including Electro, Rhino, Scorpion, and Vulture. Former WWE star Stacy Keibler is a mom of 2. Former Instagram after son Brody Keibler is also parents of 3-year-old daughter Ava Grace with Pobre. She shared a sweet photo that shows Keibler, Pobre, and Ava's hands resting on each other as Brody grips onto Keibler's thumb. The star captioned the picture, "Born at home on June 18, 2018, our sweet little man, Brody Brooks Pobre, entered our world." She added, "His spirits melt our hearts. We feel beyond blessed. #family of 4. #second home birth. #welcome to the world." News broke in May that Keibler was expecting her second child. The star shared a cute clip this month of Ava holding her baby bump. She wrote, "Someone's excited to become a big sister soon. #my sweet Ava." In addition to wrestling, Keibler is known for competing in Dancing with the Stars Season 2. She has also appeared as an actress in the TV series How I Met Your Mother, Chuck, and Psych. Mel B says the much-anticipated Spice Girls reunion tour is finally happening. The 43-year-old singer born in Brown confirmed on Wednesday's episode of Today that the British girl group will be getting back together. She told host Hoda Kotb, "I'm the only one that keeps on saying we're going to be performing, which we are going to be performing." Finally, they got it together. Mel B dismissed bandmate Victoria Beckham's comments about how the group won't be reunited. She said she's always bloody saying that. "Stop it. We are touring. Yes, we're going to be doing performances together for sure." Beckham has said in an interview with Vogue in February that the Spice Girls won't be going on tour. Her remarks follows an unofficial reunion with Mel B, Jerry Halliwell, Emily Button, and Melanie Chisholm, a.k.a. Mel C. 44-year-old singer and designer said, "I'm not going on tour. The girls aren't going on tour." The Spice Girls formed in the mid-1990s and released 3 albums before parting ways in 2000. The group previously reunited for a tour in 2007 and came together again in 2012 to perform at the London Summer Olympics. Gwen Stefani launched her Las Vegas residency Wednesday evening with friend Blake Shelton in attendance. The 48-year-old singer kicked off her residency show at the Zappos Theater at Planet Hollywood with Shelton and others friends, including designer Jeremy Scott, in attendance. Stefani performed several of her hits, including the soul single "Holla Back Girl" and the No Doubt song "Spiderwebs." She sported several outfits throughout the night, including a Western-inspired look. The star told the audience, according to Entertainment Tonight, "You don't know what it's like to be able to wear a cowgirl costume right in front of Blake Shelton. This is like my fantasy come true. Thanks for sharing it with me." Stefani shared a photo on Instagram of herself and Sheldon at the venue. She captioned the picture with a heart emoji. Stefani had showed off a bouquet and a sweet message from Shelton prior to the show, saying the gift was from her best friend. Shelton wrote in the note, "You worked so hard on the show. Congrats on the opening night. I love you, Blake." Stefani's Just a Girl residency show will run through March 2019. Paris Jackson, daughter of the late Michael Jackson, posted on Instagram a tribute to her recently deceased grandfather, Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson, the patriarch and former manager of the musical Jackson family, died Wednesday at the age of 89 in Los Angeles hospital following a battle with terminal cancer. Paris Jackson said on Instagram as part of a lengthy tribute that captioned an image of her in the hospital bed, saying, "Those last few moments with you were everything. Being able to tell you everything I needed to tell you before saying goodbye was a blessing." Paris Jackson's tribute includes her thoughts of how everyone in the Jackson family loved her grandfather, while she also touched on his legacy as the one who helped form the Jackson 5, Michael's solo career, and the solo career of Janet Jackson. She continued before promising that she will continue to share his story. "I will share every moment with you till the day I die, especially our last moments. Being able to hold your hand, lay with you, and cuddle you, give you kisses all over your cheeks and foreheads meant more to me than you'll ever know. Quoting advice you gave me when I was a little kid, and seeing your eyes light up, sharing stories my dad used to tell me about you, telling a joke and hearing you laugh for the last time, my heart is full knowing we loved each other in that way." Joe Jackson shared 9 children together with his wife, Catherine, including Maureen, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, LaToya, Marlon, Randy Sr., Janet Jackson, and Michael, who died at the age of 50 in 2009. He helped form and manage the Jackson 5, which consisted of Jermaine, Jackie, Tito, Marlon, and Michael. The band found success with hit songs including "I Want You Back" and ABC, among others. Jackson then managed Michael with a solo career, starting with 1979's "Off the Wall" with Michael cutting ties with his father following the release of the legendary album Thriller in 1982. The same year, Joe Jackson launched Janet Jackson's music career. Janet would also separate herself from her father professionally in 1986. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1967, the Rolling Stones fight the law, and the law wins. 4 magistrates in Chichester, West Sussex, England, facing charges that stemmed from the infamous raid of Richard's Redlands estate 5 months earlier. Though the raid netted very little in the way of actual drugs, what it did net was a great deal of notoriety for the already notorious Rolling Stones. It was during this raid that the police famously encountered young Marianne Faithfull clad only in a bearskin rug, a fact that the prosecutor in the case seemed to regard as highly relevant to the case at hand. In question, Richards, Queen's counsel Malcolm Morris tried to imply that Faithfull's nudity was probably the result of a loss of inhibition due to cannabis use. He says, "Would you agree? In the ordinary course of events, you would expect a young woman to be embarrassed if she had nothing on but a rug in the presence of 8 men, 2 of whom were hangers on, and a third, a Moroccan servant." Richards responded, "Not at all. You regard that, do you, as quite normal?" And Richards responded, "We are not old men. We are not worried about your petty morals." With that one line, Richards empathetically established himself as a spokesman for a generation that did not share the values of the British establishment. The charges brought against him by that establishment, however, were quite serious. While Mick Jagger stood charged with legal possessions of 4 amphetamine tablets he purchased in Italy, Richards faced the far more serious charge of allowing his house to be used for the purpose of smoking what the law at the time referred to as Indian hemp. Judging from his defiant attitude on the stand, Richards may not have taken the possibility of conviction very seriously. No marijuana had actually been found in Richards' possession, but on the evidence presented at a trial of the sweet incest smell detected by police, Richards was convicted and sentenced to 1 year in prison. Jagger was also convicted and sentenced to 3 months, but he was immediately released pending an appeal. Richards, on the other hand, was sent directly to Wormwood Scrubs prison on this date in 1968, where he was greeted like, well, a rock star by his fellow inmates. Richards would spend only 1 night in prison, though, as he was granted bail the following day, also pending appeal. His conviction would later be overturned based on the prejudicial nature of the evidence of the naked young woman in a bearskin rug. For his part, Richards was definitely pleased. He says, I liked a little more room. I liked John to be in a separate area, he later said, and I hate to be woken up. Also on this date in 1967, actress Jayne Mansfield dies in a car crash. Blonde bombshell actress Jayne Mansfield was killed instantly on this date in 1967 when the car in which she was riding to the rear of a trailer truck on Interstate 90 east of New Orleans, Louisiana. Mansfield had been on her way to New Orleans from Biloxi, Mississippi, where she had been performing a standing engagement at a local nightclub. She had a television appearance scheduled the following day. Ronald B. Harrison, a driver for the Gus Stevens Dinner Club, was driving Mansfield, and her lawyer and companion Samuel S. Brody, along with 3 of Mansfield's children, with her ex-husband Mickey Hargitay, in Stevens' 1966 Buick Electra. On a dark stretch of road, just as the truck was approaching, a machine emitted a thick white fog used to spray mosquitoes, which may have obscured it from Harrison's view. The Electra hit the trailer truck from behind. Mansfield, Harrison, and Brody were all killed in the accident. 8-year-old Mickey, 6-year-old Sultan, and 3-year-old Marie, or Mariska, had apparently been sleeping on the rear seat. They were injured but survived. Born Vera Jane Palmer in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, Mansfield arrived in Hollywood as a young wife and mother to daughter Jane Marie in 1954, determined to be an actress. From the beginning, she wasn't afraid to make the most of her assets, particularly her curvaceous figure, flowing platinum blonde hair, and dazzling smile. Cast in the Broadway comedy Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter, she turned heads as a voluptuous, dumb blonde movie star. In one famous scene, she appears in nothing but a white towel. She famously appeared nude in the 1963 comedy Promises, Promises, and stills from the set appeared in Playboy magazine, but her best performance was generally believed to have been in 1957's The Wayward Bus, based on the John Steinbeck novel and co-starring Joan Collins. While her screen career amounted to about a dozen less memorable films, off-screen she played the movie star role to perfection and became one of the most visible glamour girls of the era. Also on this date in 2003, Katharine Hepburn dies at the age of 96. Katharine Hepburn, a 4-time Academy Award winner for Best Actress and one of the greatest screen legends of Hollywood's golden era, died of natural causes at the age of 96 at her home in Oak Saybrook, Connecticut. Hepburn was born into a well-to-do New England family, the daughter of a prominent surgeon, Dr. Thomas Norval Hepburn, and his wife, Catherine Houghton, a suffragist and birth control advocate. She graduated from Bryn Mawr College in Pennsylvania in 1928 and became a stage actress. Her role in the 1932 Broadway production of The Warrior's Husband led to a Hollywood screen test and a contract with RKO Studios. In Hepburn's debut film, A Bill of Divorcement, 1932, she starred opposite John Barrymore and would be directed by George Cukor, who would become her closest friend and helm many of her films, including 1933's Little Women, 1935's Sylvia Scarlett, 1938's Holiday, and 1949's Adam's Rib. Hailed as a fresh, unconventional beauty and a talented actress, Hepburn won her first Best Actress Oscar for her 3rd film, Morning Glory, 1933. A string of films made with RKO helped mix degrees of success, and Hepburn began earning a reputation as an arrogant and self-absorbed on set, though she was always meticulously prepared for her roles. Also, she refused to play the rules governing typical Hollywood starlets at the time, appearing publicly in pantsuits and without makeup, and refusing to sign autographs or grant interviews. After modest success with Stage Door 1937 and Bringing Up Baby 1938, Hepburn decided to buy out her contract with RKO, a move that gave her unusual control over her career for that time. Her faltering image was revived by the success of the Philadelphia Story, which had originally been written for Hepburn to play on Broadway and was then adapted into a 1940 hit movie co-starring Cary Grant and James Stewart. Several years later, Hepburn met the actor Spencer Tracy while co-starring with him in Woman of the Year. in 1942. Though Tracy, a devout Catholic, remained married, the two began a romantic relationship that would last until Tracy's death nearly 3 decades later. Hepburn had divorced her husband of 6 years, Ludlow Ogden Smith, in 1934. On screen, they acted in 9 films together, including Adam's Rib, 1949, Pat and Mike, 1952, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, 1967. Tracy died just weeks after shooting was completed on the last film, for which Hepburn would win her second Best Actress award. Hepburn was awarded her 3rd Oscar for her starring turn in *The Lion in Winter* in 1968. She continued to appear in films and on television, including an Emmy-winning performance in 1976's *Love Among the Ruins* throughout the next 3 decades, winning a 4th Best Statuette for 1981's *On Golden Pond*. Nominated for 12 Academy Awards in her lifetime, a record that would still stand until 2003 when Meryl Streep received her 13th nomination, Hepburn never attended the award show to collect her honors in person. In 1986, she broke her long silence about her relationship with Tracy. His widow had died in 1983 in a televised tribute to the actor. She read aloud a poignant letter she had written to him about his drinking and about their last years together. She later included the letter in her best-selling 1991 autobiography, Me, Stories of My Life. In her final screen appearance in 1994, Love Affair, a remake of the classic 1939 film, Hepburn appeared frail but composed as ever in her portrayal of the aristocratic aunt of Warren Beatty's character. In 1999, AFI, the American Film Institute, named Hepburn as the greatest female actress in the history of American cinema. When she died on June 29, 2003, the lights on Broadway were dimmed for an hour to mark the passing of one of entertainment's brightest stars. And as your entertainment report for Friday, June 29, 2018, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back on Monday to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Everyone have a great weekend. Good night, and God bless you all.